Hello, everyone. Welcome to Symphorix. I'm the developer, and I'm going to give you a short overview and to explain some of the features of the game. So, first of all, you have to select a song. With each song, kind of acts like a level. So, you select the song that starts playing. Using these controls, you can forward, rewind, and increase or decrease the volume. Okay, so once the volume has been set at a value where you want to play at, you need to notice the bonuses this song is giving us. So this song is giving us a rotation speed bonus for the whole entity, as well as if we make a bass synergy or bass synergy, it's going to give us bounce jazz increase. Tone synergy is going to give us a damage increase, and treble is going to give us a homing strength. Homing strength is how your projectiles seek the enemy. So basically, using this treble synergy, you can create missiles. Okay, so now once we have selected our song, let me give you some basic controls. Once a window or panel, any panel is open, pressing right click deselects it and closes it. This is the reset button. So if you select on a node, that nodes get configured with some defaults so that you can get started faster. However, pressing this button gives you that node back. So you have three nodes in the beginning. So basically, it can be any three, including the center one. The center one is most important because if I select a bass node on it, this is bass, this is midtones, this is treble. The middle node is the core node. So that needs to have some kind of a beat on it because when that beat happens, that's when the healing functionality of the core gets triggered. After you have unlocked the ability to have more than one beats on it, you might be able to have three beats at the same time on your core in order to boost your healing. Then come these nodes. These are called exhaust nodes, and then we have orbital nodes. So this exhaust node currently has projectiles enabled on it. There are other ways you can release that energy as well. And then there's this, it has the base beat on it, which is telling me that this is the range in which it can create synergy. So basically, it's telling me that I can create synergy with this node and this node, and that synergy will be of the base type. But I think the mid-tone synergy is looking better. So let's pick mid-tone. So mid-tone can be made with this and this. Okay, so let's go to those nodes and add mid-tone on them as well. And now these three nodes are synergizing. Now, the brighter they glow, the more synergy they have gathered. And now the next node, when it triggers, is going to release a projectile that's way more damaging. So the trick with synergy is to have a node that fires often, but not that often. Because if on this node, for example, if I had the C sharp node on, it's firing so fast that each of the projectiles is probably getting some benefit of the synergy, but not that much. But if I use C, it fires rarely enough that the projectiles that will fire will have a much higher synergy gathered for the next projectile to use. Okay, so now when the C node comes, the projectile is going to be a Malka projectile. These are the nodes. So each song is basically running in the background and triggering different nodes. So if you want a faster fire rate, you'll probably use C sharp for this song. Let's go for C sharp. In fact, let's do a treble synergy instead. Let me take this node off by pressing the reset button. Click this, reset. Go here, treble. Because I'm thinking some of the projectiles released could be missiles. This projectile was actually a missile, but we're going to have to go into the master see. This is how the game works. There's a help section which might be able to help you understand the deep mechanics. There are orbital nodes. They're like turrets. So they actually look towards the enemies. There's an unlock that can make them actually drones so that they'll go out and seek enemies. You can also synergize with the orbital nodes. I'll leave that for you guys to explore the orbital functionality. I hope you guys enjoy. There's a lot of depth. The things interplay with each other a lot. Once you have unlocked the free flight and stat boosting, you can have individual nodes be boosted in certain things, So you could actually predetermine that these are missiles, and that will reduce your coin rate. And so it will be harder for you to earn coins, and you'll have to survive way longer in order to recoup your, or in order to earn a respectable amount of money in order to make the next unlock. For orbital nodes, there's a free flight mode. You can enable and disable free flight mode on individual orbital nodes in order to make them into drones. And lastly, like let's say I have these two enabled and the center node enabled, and this setup is something I like. I can actually save that setup. And then if I reset everything, it will reload that setup, and it will also tell you which was the song that setup is optimized for. Like for example, damage will affect all of these types, but treble will only affect the projectile. There are a lot of other surprises as well, and you're gonna have to unlock more stuff in order to figure that out. Okay, so once we have our setup ready, we're ready to head over to the match. So let's start. Once we are inside the match, the entity looks towards the mouse, and this is the rotation speed bonus. The enemies and the behaviors are song specific. And another interesting thing about projectiles is that they can seek out other projectiles as well. And also the homing bonus is gonna trigger a lot of synergy stored up, and the missiles that were released were actually homing. And this is the kinetic attack. So this is your kinetic meter. The more you move, the more energy you have to use. But once your battery is full, you can release all of it together with the left click. And if you hold down the left click, you can release that kinetic energy steadily, and you can level up the rate of fire of this as well. Most of the upgrades actually affect the kinetic energy as well. Once the enemies die, they leave some energy behind. That's the energy we need to pick in order to level up. And once we have leveled up, we're going to get upgrades. The good thing about those upgrades is they affect everything. So if you get damage boost, that damage boost is going to affect all of your nodes, not just one of them. And also, those upgrades are deterministic. So if you remember that in your favorite song on level 1, you get a certain upgrade, you can actually plan for that as well. Then if you have kinetic energy stored up, you can actually use it in emergencies for a slow motion effect, which is triggered by using right click. That might actually help you survive a near-death experience. In this build, we did not have the center core configured with a beat, so that we are not going to heal. But the idea is to survive a long time in order to meet the bosses that are also procedurally and deterministically generated for each song. So these enemies are actually unique. So level 2. So the following choices will appear for this song every time. So I know that I'm going to get free fly bonus, or like kinetic energy generation bonus, or orbital speed. So this is if the orbital nodes were turned into drones, they're going to be faster drones. So let's pick kinetic energy generation. So now my kinetic energy is generating so fast that even if I keep firing, I'm still triggering the full attack every few seconds. So that's it. And I hope you guys enjoy.